Cool. Hi, everyone. So my name is Molly Kaufman-Nicoresti, and I'm here today to talk to you about Intrepid and our journey with responsible travel. So, as some of you might know, we are a small group adventure travel company, and we are committed to developing sustainable tourism experiences that support the communities and places that we travel to. So we do this through the way that we travel, which is all purpose-led, experience-rich travel. So we want our travelers to go to a destination and experience it through sort of a local lens. So we do this through three different ways. So firstly, immersive itineraries, secondly, small groups, and thirdly, local leaders. So when it comes to sustainability and our journey on sustainability, sustainability has always been something that is sort of a core focus of ours, even since when we started back in the 80s. And that is due to our founders, truly believing that travel can be used as a force for good. But what I would say is during the pandemic, I'd say we had a bit of a kind of wake up call, because as travel slowed, we really sort of saw the flaws within the industry. So we came back with a much greater focus on sustainability. And we have done this through three different ways. So, or multiple ways, but three I'm going to speak about. So we are supporting more Intrepid Foundation partners than ever. We have more purpose-focused experiences on our trips now. And we became the first tour operator to commit to science-based emission reduction targets. So I'm going to talk a little bit firstly about the Intrepid Foundation and what they do. So the Intrepid Foundation are non-for-profit, and essentially we support projects worldwide through the foundation. So just to talk about two, the first one I'd like to bring up is a project called Education for All, and this is based in Morocco, and it basically supports girls in carrying on their education, and these girls are all within the high Atlas mountain sort of region of Morocco. And then another project we support is the Coral Triangle Centre, which is based in Indonesia, and this protects coral reef ecosystems. So from that you can really see just the sort of range and diversity of the projects that we support through the Intrepid Foundation. And since 2002 we have raised more than £6 million, 12 million Aussie dollars, which is something we're hugely proud of. And Intrepid absorb all of the administration costs. So 100% of donations go direct to our partners. So yeah, just something that we're really, really proud of. Another thing we're proud of is being a B Corp. So we are the world's largest travel B Corp. And for those of you who might be thinking right now, what is a B Corp? So essentially B Corps are companies that balance profit and purpose by elevating people and planet in all of our decision making. Other big B Corps you may have heard of include Ben & Jerry's, Patagonia, the clothing brand, and also The Body Shop. And to become a B Corp, it is a really rigorous process where they analyze all parts of your business. So it's a huge achievement for us to become a B Corp. And we actually recertified last year with a higher score than our original one, and were named amongst B Corp's best for the world, which is a massive achievement. But when you're talking about B Corp and sort of traveling with a B Corp, it basically means that you'll be traveling with a company that is trying to sort of do better for the world. So, we are trying to minimize our environmental impact. We are supporting local communities, and we're delivering a sustainable supply chain. What else are we doing? So we are also decarbonising our business. So we have actually been carbon neutral since 2010, but we are now working to decarbonise our business. And as I spoke about before, we now actually have science-based targets to help us with this. But there are other things that we're doing. So we try and encourage our customers to sort of stay longer. So just being a bit more mindful in catching flights. So, we always say it's better to take fewer longer holidays instead of multiple shorter ones. We are removing all flights under 90 minutes where we can on our top 50 itineraries. And a really good example of this is on our premium Cambodia trip. And we have replaced the flight that usually goes from Siem Reap to Phnom Penh with a beautiful boat river ride up the Tonle Sap River. So that's just a really nice example of how we're doing that. We also encourage our travellers to use the train, as this is a great low carbon option. And it also gives travellers the chance to just, move more slowly, more mindfully. So we've actually partnered with Byway, and this is a company that increases alternative train travel pre and post trip. And we also, when you're on an Intrepid trip, particularly if you're on an original trip, we often use public transport to get around. So once again, this is a lower carbon option, but it also is a great way to experience the destination as a local, or through a local lens, which is obviously what we're trying to achieve. So a little bit more about this. So we eat, shop and stay local at Intrepid. So we want to make sure that the tourism dollar stays where it belongs. And this is in the local economy. So when you are traveling on an Intrepid trip, you are going to have a local guide, you're going to be eating in local restaurants, and you're going to be staying in local accommodation. And all of this helps to support local communities. So what else are we doing to support local communities? We are including experiences with impact on our trip. So we try to include non-traditional tourism products on our tours. And I've pulled two examples here today just to talk to you a little bit about sort of what I mean by this. So if you have customers are traveling on the premium Kenya trip, then they will be going and visiting a Maasai community that helps, that basically champions Maasai women's health and education. This is the Tepasura Widows Income Project, and they basically offer security, safety, and economic autonomy to widowed women in their community through helping them create and make their own sort of eco-friendly handicrafts, which they then go and sell to visitors and other locals. Also on the premium Kenya trip, you were going to visit the Eden Project. So this is actually one of our Intrepid Foundation partners. And these guys are a non-for-profit NGO who are working in multiple developing countries, helping to rebuild natural landscapes that have been devastated by deforestation. And they also help to help communities that have been impacted by this deforestation and the destruction of the land that sustains them. So a really fantastic project that you will go and visit. If you have clients visit on our scenic Vietnam trip, they will be going and experiencing a community-based tourism project at the Dabac village, where they will go and stay, have an overnight in a homestay with, a local family. So the majority of the families that live in this village are all part of this community-based tourism experience. And when it comes to the homestays, the majority of these are run by women, and all of them come from ethnic minorities. So when you explore the village, you go for a trek, and you share a meal with local families, and it's a really amazing experience. And another thing you'll be doing on the scenic Vietnam trip is going and having breakfast at the Blue Dragon Children's Foundation. This is another one of our Intrepid Foundation partners. And this is a project in Hanoi that helps, it's a community project that helps support disadvantaged children, essentially. But I just think this is a great way for, your customers to connect with the destination in, quite a unique way, and is an example of how travel can be a force for good by giving back to the communities that we go and visit. And we also, on our trips, are reducing waste and plastic. So if you're on an Intrepid trip, you will not have any single-use plastics on that trip. So we always encourage our travellers to travel with a reusable water bottle, particularly a filtration water bottle. So a good example of that is a water-to-go bottle. So with a water-to-go bottle, you can drink water, any non-salt water from anywhere in the world safely. And this drastically decreases the amount of plastic bottles we are, as a traveller, you would buy on a trip. At the moment, because we've partnered with Water to Go, we have 15% off. So if you are looking to buy one of those, you get a nice little saving. And they also match that with a 15% donation to the Intrepid Foundation. So I think that's just really lovely. And then another thing we do is we provide all of our travellers with an Intrepid tote bag. So obviously that decreases the amount of plastic bags that we're using and things like that. But there's a lovely story behind our tote bags. So we carefully select the local producers of these tote bags so that we can support as many small social enterprises as possible. And I've chosen two projects that I really like who are manufacture our bags. So if you are on a trip in Greece, then your bag would have been made by the humanitarian organisation Naomi. And Naomi provides emergency aid for asylum seekers and refugees in Greece. And they also provide language lessons and sewing and tailoring courses for refugees and asylum seekers. And these are, tangible, transferable skills that they can then go and use. And if you are traveling in Peru with us, your tote bag will have been made by Casa Trans. And this is a project created by and for trans women in Peru. And it provides a safe environment where trans women can have economic safety, through making the Intrepid bag. So I just love that there is a little story behind our bags as well. And then just to say as well, so we go off the tourism trail. So, in a bid to tackle over tourism, we try and take our travellers off the tourism trail. And a great example of this is actually in Bosnia. So, as we all know, Europe is a very popular region for tourism, but it does have a focus on those big hitting destinations like France, Spain, Italy. And while we do have trips in these destinations, we try and disperse the positive economic effects of tourism. So over the past couple of years, Intrepid partnered up with ActionAid to support the development of sustainable tourism experiences in Bosnia and to help drive tourism in Bosnia. From this, we then went on to create our own Bosnia expedition, which then included many of these experiences that were developed through this project. And, it is a hugely successful tour, and the 2023 season has almost completely sold out. So I think that's a fantastic example of, sort of really going off the tourism track and exploring sort of slightly more unique destinations. So we are here to do good, and I hope that this very short presentation has really sort of pulled out a few of the things that we are doing. But, when it comes to talking to your customers about sustainability and particularly, Intrepid and sustainability, three of the things I think that I would just bring up are, firstly, us being a B Corp. What that means is they can trust us. And I think that is, a really important part of, selling Intrepid to your customers. If you have a customer that is more interested in that scientific side, then talk to them about how we're carbon neutral. Our trips are carbon neutral, and you can talk to them about our science-based targets and how we're decarbonising our business. And then I would always talk to customers about our purpose-led travel. And this just offers such a unique insight into the destination they're visiting. But, one thing I would say is, we found that customers may not, necessarily choose Intrepid for the first time purely based on our sustainability credentials. They're going to be going off the itinerary, the dates, things like that. But what we have found is once someone has traveled with us and they're on trip with us, that is when they really see our sustainability practices coming into fruition. And then when they rebook with us, sustainability is one of the core reasons that they are rebooking with Intrepid. So I just think that's a really lovely thing to finish on. So does anyone have any questions or anything like that? Cool. Well, I've used up my 15 minutes. So thank you everyone so much for joining us. And yeah, any questions, please just drop me an email at molly.nicoresti@intrepidtravel.com. Thank you so much, everyone.